Have you ever noticed yourself speaking out loud when no one else is there? Maybe it happens during a walk, or while standing alone in a quiet room, weighing a decision. What seems like a small habit is actually something far more meaningful. It is a reflection of how deeply your mind works, a quiet signal of inner awareness. Speaking to yourself is not randomness. It is an intimate form of self-connection, a private conversation where your inner world begins to reveal itself. When you talk to yourself, you step into a rare space of awareness. You are no longer just thinking. You are listening. Your thoughts take shape as sound, becoming clearer, more deliberate. In that moment, you are both the one asking and the one answering, the explorer and the guide. This dialogue brings hidden thoughts into the light, allowing you to observe them with honesty rather than letting them drift unnoticed through your mind. Self-awareness begins when thoughts are examined instead of ignored. By speaking them aloud, you give them structure. You begin to hear inconsistencies, recognize emotional patterns, and uncover insights that silent thinking often conceals. Your voice becomes a mirror, reflecting the emotional landscape and logic behind your choices. Through this practice, you don't just understand what you think. You begin to understand why you think that way. Over time, this awareness deepens. You start to recognize recurring behaviors, emotional triggers, and internal habits that quietly influence your decisions. Fear, hope, desire, doubt, all begin to reveal their roles. Speaking aloud gives these forces a presence, allowing you to question them instead of being unconsciously driven by them. This honest dialogue with yourself builds clarity and integrity, creating a foundation of self-truth. This inner conversation is also a powerful tool for navigating the present. Alone with your thoughts, free from outside influence, your mind becomes calm and focused. You can explore multiple perspectives without pressure. Solitude turns into a workshop for thinking, a place where ideas are tested, decisions are refined, and understanding matures. You begin to rely less on external validation and more on the strength of your own insight. Talking to yourself also strengthens emotional awareness. Unspoken emotions often remain tangled and overwhelming. When you give them words, they become manageable. You acknowledge what you feel instead of suppressing it. Emotions shift from confusion to clarity, allowing thought and feeling to work together rather than compete. This balance creates emotional intelligence rooted in understanding, not avoidance. Problem-solving becomes sharper when thoughts are spoken aloud. Silent thinking can drift and scatter, but speech anchors the mind. Ideas gain form. Challenges stop feeling like shadows and start looking like puzzles. By externalizing your thoughts, you expose weak points in reasoning, uncover assumptions, and reorganize ideas into workable solutions. Your voice turns confusion into structure and uncertainty into direction. This process encourages patience and disciplined thinking. You test possibilities, reject what doesn't work, and refine what does. Each spoken attempt brings you closer to clarity. Over time, you develop confidence in your ability to reason through complexity, trusting your own mind to navigate difficult terrain with both logic and intuition. Creativity also flourishes in these moments of self-dialogue. When you speak freely, your imagination awakens. Ideas connect unexpectedly. Memories, emotions, and concepts weave together into new possibilities. Without judgment or limitation, your mind explores unconventional paths. Solitude becomes a creative studio where innovation is born and imagination is given permission to roam. Speaking aloud also strengthens trust in your own creative instincts. You learn to value your ideas before seeking approval. Mistakes become a part of exploration rather than sources of doubt. Creativity becomes a practice, not a rare event, something cultivated through curiosity and courage. Beyond creativity, self-talk builds confidence in solitude. Being alone no longer feels empty. It feels grounded. When you trust your own voice, external noise loses its power. You become comfortable relying on your judgment, standing firm in your beliefs, and making decisions without constant reassurance. This independence is not isolation. It is self-mastery. Resilience grows through this relationship with yourself. In moments when support is absent, your inner voice becomes steady and reassuring. You learn to calm yourself, refocus, and move forward. Solitude transforms into strength. You discover that you are capable of facing uncertainty with composure and resolve. Talking to yourself also brings clarity to your goals. When ambitions remain unspoken, they stay vague. When voiced, they become real. Words give shape to intention. Plans emerge. Priority